What is happening with Japan? There. So, as mentioned, broad video. What is happening with Japan? Blind video reaction. I didn't watch it yet. So let's jump right in.
The other day I started receiving messages from people asking me if Japan is okay, linking a rather ominous sounding video called What is Happening to Japan. It wasn't just the title and thumbnail that were ominous, but the description reading, Is Japan cooked? I've seen a lot of changes and things seem to be getting worse. In an era where I'm now being sent daily AI... I get where it's like hinting at, because like these days especially, like they take everything with a grain of salt. Like I don't know, like initially what I'm thinking about is like, I don't know, birth rates. Like Japan has like some questionable standards in terms of like prisoners. It's like quite inhumane, I might add. So like. Rise of Islam, it's all like, I'm like we will see like what is happening there. Like I'm excited. Videos and photos that sorely misrepresent Japan from bizarre and questionable accounts. It made an almost refreshing change to be sent something produced by a human being.
Oh damn, bro! It's like that wild, like for now, bro. What?
Crucially, a creator who is one of the biggest foreign content creators living in Japan, with 1.4
Yo, TC, welcome back!
million subscribers on YouTube alone, and hundreds of thousands more across other social media platforms. In fact, the same video had been chopped up into half a dozen videos without dialogue and shared on Instagram and TikTok, amassing over 3 million views in just a matter of days. Now, I was especially concerned, not just as somebody living in Japan or Tokyo, but actually...
Oh, I forgot the music, bro. I forgot the music. There, because he was like thinking, like talking about videos and like, oh.
This street where the thumbnail's taken is somewhere I walk down once or twice a week in Nakameguro. One of my favourite coffee shops is just around the corner, and in fact, this video I made earlier in the year was filmed on the same street, albeit at a different angle, not showing the abandoned house. And not to mention, I've actually been living in the neighbourhood myself for the last 3 years. And when I went to
bro's living there.
Take the thumbnail for my video, I quickly noticed a few interesting differences between my original ungraded photos and the thumbnail of her video. It is a rather fascinating game of spot the difference. So naturally I was a bit concerned to find out what is happening to Japan, especially as over 3 million people had seen this message. For half of the runtime of the video, the creator in question walks through Kabukicho in Shinjuku.
What the freak happened? Why is her face censored? Like, what?
Japan's biggest nightlife district, with a reputation for being dirty and gritty, filming bin bags, litter and homeless people. In the short form content, the same videos show the...
It's like such a shame, like that in the prospect like of our technology that we still have like homeless people, bro. Oh.
Litter being intercut at times with foreign tourists, who are queuing unremarkably to take a photo of the Toho Godzilla statue, although the angle of the statue was left out of the footage. And it's at this point I need to reiterate, if you don't know Japan, Kabukicho or Shinjuku can be a bit of a shock. It's the equivalent of walking through downtown LA or Soho in London. And in recent years, it's been gentrified more than perhaps anywhere in Tokyo. It used to be genuinely quite dangerous. I remember 10 years ago, I made a hotel reservation there and had to cancel it after there was a Yakuza shootout quite literally across the road from the hotel. The area is also synonymous with Tokyo.
That's like a wild feature, like from Japan, if I'm not mistaken, because I got told by the internet that like the Yakuza is like working quite closely together with the government.
Tokyo's homeless population as far back as 2003, when the film Tokyo Godfathers shone a spotlight on the long-standing...
Aye, Dimitri, like if you gotta go, you gotta go. I don't know what to do. Like if you go eat later, I hope you have a cozy eat. And when you wake up, an amazing day, brother. I love you so much. Take care. Till later.
population, which according to the statistics is thankfully going down. And if you walk around there today compared to 10 years ago, there are far less homeless people. But crucially, Kabukicho...
Oh, okay, so they're like actually doing something very good.
Kabukicho doesn't represent Tokyo, it doesn't represent Japan, but if you wanted to make Japan look cooked, it would be the first place you would go, pull out your camera and hit record. The other half of the runtime in these videos was dedicated to Nakameguro, a trendy district.
Ah, yeah, like, of course, like, biased imagery, that's, like, also a thing. I think, like, that he put emphasis on this is very important, because it's easy to, like, paint a picture, which is, like, why it's so important to, like, seek out as many sources as possible, like, in order to get a grander picture of things.
It's historically one of Tokyo's most artistic neighbourhoods, and with a recent history of graffiti, both artistic and just tagging, where people just spray paint their name. A few years ago, I think it was 2019, there was quite a lot of graffiti, and the local schools got together to paint over it, and then the graffiti came back again. But when Japanese TV made a video on it, interviewing locals, interestingly, they didn't intercut it with shots of Asia's biggest nightlife district and call it What is Happening to Japan. They called it Residents Express Discomfort at 37 graffiti sites found around Nakameguro Station. And maybe that's why, despite having twice the number of subscribers, they only got 100,000 views, instead of almost 500,000. Silly traditional media attempting to present news in an objective manner in 2025. And so at this point you might be thinking, okay, right, so what's happened to Japan? What happened next? Now lean in. Come closer. Come over. That was it. That was literally it. In a country of 120 million...
Oh, I like what he does there. Now we're getting cooking, like cheese.
...people. They were all cooked because of some bin bags in a red light district and some spray paint on a wall down 6 or 7 streets in the capital city. And while the YouTube video was 15 long, stupid minutes I'll never get back, it was the short form content that really concerned me. We live in a scary time when more people now than ever before learn things about countries and cultures from 30 to 60 second videos without context, and where the more sensationalist the videos are, the more you will be rewarded for it.
Which is inauthentic, and inauthenticity, this is worthless. It brings no value. It literally, like, in a sense, like, robs your time. It's, like, devastating. 60... Dude. Okay, you're gonna eat, alright, brother. You have a cold sheep. And when you wake up, an amazing day. Love you so much. Like, you take care. Till later.
People are angry, both in Japan and around the world at the moment, and this video, or these videos, seem to be exceptional rage bait that made a lot of people angry.
Fuck is this at?
Without any exposition on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, they showed a series of awful images in a densely populated area. And if you look at the comment sections, particularly on those shorts, you will see the most vile, hateful, angry comments
Time of ever.
that you can find. A creator isn't responsible for what people comment on their content, but subtle choices, the way the images and clips are cut and edited together with the message that goes with it, can have a very powerful effect. As somebody who's edited over 300 videos, I'm more aware of that than anyone. The most unsettling thing is it's never been easier to monetize sensationalist slop content. And if you do it, you'll be richly rewarded for it. Case in point, this video, the creator pointed out, made $1,500, which is a seriously impressive amount of money for going around filming some bin bags and some spray paint in a video that would have taken a matter of hours to record. And this is one of the things that worries me the most, the monetization of slop sensationalist content. That's one thing I want to discuss a little bit later on. It's at this point I thought, look, just don't say anything. Bite your tongue, move on. But when I saw millions upon millions of...
I think it's like also, like, yet again, a thing of values. And I think it's very advisable to also value the very aspect that you're able to investigate for yourself. It's like lovely, like, that he is also, like, describing it that way. Because it simply, like, exposes the, if you want, like, lazy mind. Like, people are seeing that, and they're, like, taking it for granted. Which is, like, super interesting to look at.
Views people angry, a current backdrop of sensationalist slop content taking over, and a rise in anti-foreign sentiment here in Japan, I snapped. I had to say something. I chose to bring attention to it publicly. And I quickly received 2 replies. The first was from a guy who posted a photo of some graffiti he saw in 1993, pointing out graffiti has always been around in Tokyo. And the other comment was from the content creator herself, who told me to take it down.
I think it's like quite good what is like showing there, because like you can always nitpick like graffitis within town. I think like graffiti is like part of human identity. We started to make graffitis in caves. Like it's like wild.
This was now a creator on Creator Matter, and they were just a humble creator with a GoPro, somehow conveniently forgetting they were one of the biggest foreign content creators in Japan. Now, I think if you are a large content creator, both literally and metaphorically, you should be willing to accept a degree of scrutiny. I know I do. Every time I release a video, people attack me for various things. And if I see something that I believe misconstrues reality, then I'm going to call it out as well. Impressively, no less than 6 hours later, she'd shot, edited and released an entire video about what she'd called an attack, calling me a gatekeeper. I was accused of painting Japan as a utopia. I was accused of excluding her from my friendship group, somebody I've never met, never spoken to. I was accused of being grumpy, maybe
So, shortly, a fucking liar.
because her viewers had
Fucking disgraceful liar.
claimed that she was more attractive than me and less grumpy. And no, I'm not making this up. This is actually a real video. And finally, I was called the C word, just to add the cherry on top. It is, ironically, one of the most bizarre, personal, rambling attacks that I've ever had. And I think it is really pointless. It degrades any sort of debate or conversation, and it's the least important thing that I want to talk about today. And for some clarity, I really don't dislike this person. I dislike their content, not just this video, but some other videos, which I'll discuss. I know I can be sarcastic and silly, but I'm genuinely not. I'm a malicious person. I quite honestly wish her well. And I ask you, if you disagree with her, if you disagree with me, that you always comment in a respectful manner and don't share any hatred online. Is there already
Sure, like, yeah. Like when I like see that like with like lying, it's like quite like seeing that and like being aware, being made aware. Like I think it's like great what he does there. Like yeah, like knowing the impact a lie can have is quite like quite an emotional, profoundly matter for me. Like don't get me wrong. Like fantasy is like part of our identity, though. When you deliberately use it to attack a person, a fellow human, I think this is a very astute value approach. It rids you of your own dignity, and like not just that, like it strips you off of like every last ounce of humanity you've been given. And I think like especially like what he's like putting emphasis on right now, it's like super important, because like respectful discourse in that sense. Like he's right. Like I was quite emotional in that sense. Though a liar is a liar, and like in my humble opinion, this person stripped herself of every last ounce of authenticity and like especially when you have like so many people, you have responsibility. And you don't like achieve your people. This is not a way to lead. This is this can cause wars. Like I was seeing comments where people were like putting the word diversity in quotes. This can literally like cause conflict on a grand scale. Like the echoes of it. And I think it's sickening that people do that. And I think you can like call it out. Like look at the things like as they are. This is a very dangerous situation which could have unfolded there, and I think it's amazing that his video like got so much traction in that sense.
Enough of that going round, and I'm making this video for 2 reasons. Number one, there are much bigger issues in play here around content creation, around Japan, and I want to discuss those. And second of all, some people see it as me bullying another creator because they don't understand why I would bring this up. And honestly, I don't do this sort of thing lightly. The only time I think I've ever called out a creator was Mr. Beast last year when he partnered with Logan Paul, a man who did awful things in Japan, which I had to discuss publicly on Japanese national television. I didn't enjoy making that video or the attention or scrutiny it brought me. I hate myself sometimes that I can't keep my mouth shut on certain things. But when you feel something is profoundly wrong in here, you have to talk about it. I've held my tongue previously on other content that this creator has produced. A few years ago, a friend showed me a clip of a video in which the same person walked through an economically deprived part of Tokyo filming homeless people.
Oh my gosh, this is a rough area.
Under the guise of showing the real Japan, filming the most vulnerable people in society and posting it online.
I think this is a disgrace. Like she could have like helped those people, like actually like doing something in that sense. And then like she basically like took people who are in a very, very bad position within their life and malformed them into video props. Like, it'd be way more effective to like find out why this is happening and then like bringing this knowledge out there so that people can introduce solutions to the situation.
Like, I've had Japanese friends tell me this sort of stuff makes them feel uncomfortable. Beyond that, it sort of portrays Japan as this magical place where there's a barrier between us, where if you speak Japanese...
Because like it's like one thing to do sensationalism, it's a total different thing to actually do something. I think like people like these days, due to this situation unfolding, they somewhat rationalize inauthenticity for themselves within this matter unfolding in front of their eyes. They're thinking, at least I assume so, I watched a sensationalist piece with a very serious issue and therefore I do something just by watching it. There's like, you can say, like if you choose to do so, that it's the wrong angle being taken here. And like overextending that, a piece which is actually malicious. Instead of like introducing mechanisms and solutions which prohibit this from taking place in the first place, it gets utilized in order to just make cash. There is no interest in actually helping people. There's interest in like in a sense like milking a cash cow. And I think like it also shows you in a sense like people who then like consume such sensationalist, inauthentic, deceptive material. I think those people they just want to feel better than the persons being displayed in the video itself. I think those people very likely think, look at this, I'm not that, so therefore I'm better. Which is very sad, because when you look at how fast things can change, when an earthquake hits, for example, or it's like put it very abstractly, a lightning strikes or a car crashes, how fast people can find themselves in such situations. And especially, that's why I always say like a skewed sense of values, because like we all have like same urges, like as humans. Like we're all humans, and it's way better to like help one another rather than like jump one another. And I think it's like sad that this sensationalism is being present in that sense. Though of course, like everything knows its balance. Though, like from what I've seen there, like this seems to be very, very wild.
They will bounce around, they will scream and shout, it will cure depression, as if the entire country is one big social experiment waiting to be exploited. And I worry in an era of nuisance content creators coming to Japan doing things that are unspeakably bad. They might see this sort of content and go, wow, you get $1,500 for that. Maybe start to wave cameras around in the faces of homeless people, potentially leading to even more nuisance content. And when the cost of making such content is nothing, but the profits are extraordinary, the only real thing stopping you from doing that is morals.
And like again, I think the major challenge here lies that people are sensationalists about it. When you see that, like, why is it that those people are then like thinking, oh yeah, I'm gonna copy that? Like, why not like actually like doing something to help those people? Like it doesn't really like gets into my head.
We've seen time and again with streamers in Japan. Morals are often in short supply, and coupled with the fact there's rising anti-foreign sentiment in Japan, it makes me concerned and uncomfortable. So what are the real issues facing Japan? What is happening to Japan? In the last few weeks, I've been travelling around the country, filming videos. I've been to Sendai, Nagano, Nagoya, Gifu, Okinawa, and spending time with the locals out there, talking with them, hearing their concerns. I can assure you, none of them care about a fucking bin bag in Shinjuku or some spray paint on a wall in Nakameguro. The two most notable things are depopulation and a cost of living crisis. And funnily enough, while this stuff was happening, I was on an island in Okinawa interviewing the locals on how depopulation has affected their island. Where once there were hundreds of people, today there are 50, and this has obviously affected island life.
Damn, this is wild.
Quite honestly, I would much rather be editing that video than talking about this. But it will take me weeks to edit that video and do the islanders' story justice. And this takes me to the real crux of the matter, the thing that worries me the most. In the same time that it will take to produce this video, I could go out and film 50 of these videos, make a lot more money with a lot less effort. It is increasingly hard to compete when you're producing videos to a higher standard, when you have to fact check everything. The creator of this video claimed it took 50 hours to produce this video, a claim I find to be, quite frankly, baffling. I'm not sure where the 50 hours went. And you might think, well, he does sound kind of jealous now. Maybe she's right. Maybe he's just not getting the views. And I say far from it. I could go out and make this content in one afternoon in Tokyo. What I'm saying is social media platforms don't care. They don't reward accuracy. They don't reward nuance or objective reason. They reward clicks, they reward attention, they reward sensationalism. Journalistic integrity really doesn't count for much online, unfortunately, to an almost dystopian degree. Some criticisms levelled at me.
Which is like interesting. It's like, on one hand, trying to moralize with demonetization, and then like on the other hand, causing such chaos with sensationalism and slop. This is a beautiful angle, and I think it's absolutely important what he's like showing here.
Is that I also make sensationalist content, and that I only show the nice side of Japan, the squeaky clean, rose-tinted spectacle version of the country. And to that I would say there's a big difference between sensationalist content and clickbait titles and thumbnails. I hate having to pull a stupid face. I hate my thumbnails and titles. But it is simply a matter of survival on an increasingly crowded platform that doesn't share your content unless it has a high click-through rate. And I try to make up for the stupid faces and titles by delivering content that does the subject matter justice. And the claim that I show only the over-romanticised utopian version of Japan is simply ridiculous. Does this look romanticised? Is this a utopia? Does that look romanticised? Is this a utopia? But do I walk through economically deprived parts of Tokyo and Osaka filming homeless people with a GoPro? No, I don't. And I'm sorry if that is the only definition of showing the dark side of Japan that you have. I cover the matters.
Like, again, it's like one thing, like showing that, why not helping those people? Like, I get the bigger picture aspect of things. Not everything is like My Little Pony, shiny colors, happy life. I get that, and balance is important in that sense. Why not like helping those people then? Don't run off. I'm gonna go make a burger and join on PC. Alright, PC. Go for it. Go for it.
That I genuinely believe are affecting Japan the most. And in fact, I've been speaking with a homeless shelter about doing a documentary, but it's a serious topic, and these are people's lives, and I need to tackle that carefully. If you want to watch something about Japan's homeless population, Life Where I'm From has made a fantastic documentary series on the subject. I would urge you to go and watch them. I will say, I've felt sort of disheartened this year in general about so many things, about the state of the world, and this is sort of to the side of this issue. As you may know, I've been living here over a decade now, about 13 years, and I've been extremely lucky to be here. And I've always tried to show Japan in a fair and balanced way, particularly more rural areas that I love, which I've been lucky to call home. And more I'm seeing comments and discourse online that I'm just a foreign guy living in Japan. I don't understand the culture. I'm a foreign guy exploiting Japan. And I've had that claim thrown at me more in the last 12 months than in the last 12 years combined. To the point, it has sort of sucked the energy out of me a bit and made me wonder, what am I doing? Does what I do matter anymore? No matter how many documentaries I make, no matter what I shine a spotlight on, no matter who I meet or what I do, just a foreign guy exploiting Japan. And I felt lost about what am I doing here? I was far happier as a smaller creator without the burden of expectations, without people overanalyzing everything I said or did. And to be frank, the only thing that keeps me doing this is knowing I'm very lucky to have an amazing audience of people. I know you're not just numbers on a view count, you're actually real people, and I'm very...
This is like super important. I think like this furthermore like emphasizes the difference between like sensationalist creators who reform serious things as props instead of actually causing systematic change, and creators who really try to bring you a detailed picture of like what is happening around you, like on a global scale. I think this is very telling, and like I feel what he means there, because like I feel the same for my people, and it's like fascinating to me like how exploitative like the general environment is in that regard, and that's like why I always like say a skewed sense of value. You like when I like then like see like the bandit video I made, like how people support bandits, very questionable. Like why when we can like collectively do so much good with the abilities we've been gifted as human beings.
Grateful I've got to meet so many of you. I sort of need to know, if you're watching, that I'm not going mad here. If there's one thing to take away from this video, it's to remember, on the road ahead, whatever the algorithm throws at you, it's never been more important to call out things that are fundamentally wrong. What you choose to click on has honestly never mattered more. And unfortunately, much of the time, you don't get a choice on what you click on some of the short form content. We can look at the awful things that are curated for us on screen and accept that as reality, or we can go out into the world and make sense of it for ourselves. But we must remember the bigger picture, because if we don't, I think bad things are going to happen.
Exactly, it causes and invites polarization on a grand scale. Like I think what he did there, especially with the comments, I think this showed exactly what is bound to happen when the sensationalist process of producing things like still resides. And like another thing is, I truly hope like people see that and like start to question things. Like dare to ask, and like some questions like is this the real, like is this the reality of what is happening there right now? Is this the general state of things? Like ask questions and like maybe like also like do a role play, like where like one of your friends challenges that and you like argue for it and the other friend like argues against it, like talking, like you guys can like chill in your friend groups and like be out there and like really discuss things like in that regard. What I'm on about, the video here is an amazing video. Jesus freaking Christ, is so valuable. Wow.
Beyond this, I don't want to be negative, but I have to speak my mind, otherwise what's the point of it all, right? And the good news is I'm looking forward to getting back to many wonderful videos that I've shot in the last few days on an island with Natsuki, rummaging through a forest. There's lots of great things to come, so thank you. Thank you as always.
You're welcome, brother. Amazing video. I agree. Like, it was a blind video reaction. Quite some emotional moments there. I hope this video like reaches even more people due to this. I will link it. I will link the original video in the description. Like, you guys go there, like, comment, subscribe. Amazing. I didn't expect it. Like, I was like seeing the title, and I think like the title alone like showed you the impact of the situation. Because like even I got like catched by that. So great work. Love it. So YouTube, you guys, as usual, till the next time. Peace!